Many young people today are chasing their dream careers, pursuing their passions, and building something for themselves. And rightly so. But where does love fit into all of this? Is there ever really a perfect time for love or marriage, especially when you're just starting out in your career? In this episode, we dive into what it truly means to balance ambition and love, the fears, the timings, and the truths we don't talk about enough. My guest, Adedayo Daini, shares the experience navigating family life and leadership in tech, offering wisdom for anyone trying to build both a fulfilling career and a purposeful relationship. With years of experience managing the demands of a thriving career while nurturing his family, he brings honest and practical insights on what it truly means to balance ambition and marriage in today's fast-paced world. Thank you so much, Dio, for joining us on today's episode.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much, Mary. It's my pleasure to be here as well.
Thank you. Today's episode will be exploring how young people today can balance ambition, purpose, love, and marriage, especially in a world that glorifies hustle and financial stability. So we'll be talking about starting out in their career as well as balancing it with relationship, purposeful relationship, and marriage. Our first question would be, how can someone, a young person, figure out what career path is truly aligned with their strengths and interests, rather than just going for what's popular or available? There are a lot of jobs that are popular, a lot of jobs that are available, but how can they figure out what is truly aligned with their strengths and interests?
I think one of the most important things that you always want to do is just to understand your why, right? Your reason
Mm.
for doing what it is that you are doing,
Yeah.
right? And your career is no different. So you need to identify what it is that you are looking out for in your career, especially at an early stage, right?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe case in point, a fresh NYC graduate, a fresh graduate who just completed his NYC. What exactly is important to you,
Mm.
right? That I think that's once you have that sense of clarity, that sense of purpose, it then helps you to make a number of decisions. Not all the decisions, but at
Mm-hmm.
least you're not starting from zero, right? Some things have
Yeah.
already been checked off. If you say that should you go with your strength? Should you go with your interests? I think one thing that someone had already told me, sort of like a mentor, right, is for him, your every workplace or every career choice, you want to consider three factors.
Okay.
Number one is the money involved,
Mm.
the learning opportunities,
Mm-hmm.
and number three is the time that it gives you. And again, all these things can be different to different people at different times,
Yeah.
right? So if you take if graduates fresh out of school, which is maybe a specific context,
Mm-hmm.
is money really the most important thing? I don't think so. I would probably say just learn as much as you can, absorb as much knowledge as you can. And so you want to be in an environment where there's a lot of learning. You get to learn. It doesn't have to be an actual job. It doesn't have to be, a well-structured company, but your goal is to learn. So that's starting with why speaks to what your goal is, right? As a young person, maybe in your early career, you want to prioritize your learning. Then as you go, you can then begin to consider money, and then you then change organizations here and there. And then eventually, so time is maybe another thing. You've gotten to a stage where the work is taking a lot out of you. Yes, it's giving you a lot of
Mm.
money. You're probably learning, but you want to die under the pressure of the work, as it were,
Yeah.
right? So then want to reconsider and review your reasons for being in that role, for taking that job.
Mm.
And so maybe you just want to work with those three things as your sort of your guiding lights when choosing a career, right? The worst place to be in is when you're not having any of these three,
Mm.
right? And so if the money is not money. If the learning is just useless, as it were, like you
Mm,
have maximized what it is that you can learn from that organization,
yeah.
and then you still do not have time. So the time factor is maybe more for people who want to maybe explore other hobbies, do a business or a side hustle, as it were,
Yeah.
right? So that's when it may now become more critical, but you just want to acknowledge and know how you want to navigate through those three things, right? So specifically to then your question, and maybe just bringing it home, popular or what is available, again, is your why. What is it that you are looking out for? You will just know that not everybody has it the same way, right? Not
Mm,
every
yeah.
graduate is the same. Some are well set up for life in the
Mm-hmm.
sense that, oh, once you've graduated, there's probably a job waiting for you, or you're not even under pressure to get a job. But then for some other people, they are the hope of their
Their
family, right? They are
families.
seen
Yeah.
as you graduate like this, you enter street. So money is probably what that person is looking for,
Yeah.
right? But again, you want to my reminder will just try to find a place where you can learn a lot. I think early on in your career, learning is the most important thing. Learning is the
Mm,
most important thing. And because of maybe the way a lot of us got into university and, oh, what do you want to be? Doctor? What do you want to be? Banker? Without really knowing in depth if that's what you wanted to do,
mm,
if that was what you were interested or, interested really in doing,
yeah.
you have the chance post graduation to maybe the few early years, the few 3, 4 years to sort of explore. Again, this may be coming from a place of privilege because not everybody has the opportunity to
To
explore,
explore.
right?
Yeah.
But as much as possible, try to explore and go here, go there, see what it is that you really are interested in doing.
Yeah.
And because that starting point really sets you up, has the chance to set you up for a
A
beautiful,
long time.
beautiful
Yeah.
career and life in the long term. So
Yeah.
yeah, those are probably the things I would say.
Especially as interests may also change along the way.
Oh yeah, of course. Interest is very
Yeah.
fluid and it is probably, overrated, right? If I had asked you 7 years ago if you thought you were going to be a podcaster or an influencer, right?
Yeah.
What would you have said? You probably would not have said yes, right? So
True.
it has changed with the times, and then it
Yeah.
has changed with your with technology. I mean, so many things, so many factors cause interest to change, right? You may
Mm,
just have seen, oh wow, this person is doing something you may not have thought of influencing as, oh, a career,
the career
right? But by the
path.
time one or two examples, oh, okay, I've always been interested in this, but my problem was how will I feed a
Start.
family or take care of a family with this? But now that
Okay.
I've seen opportunities and I've seen where it can be viable, and then you jump in. So, I mean, interest is very, very fluid. I
Mm-hmm.
think time in someone's life, it's actually can change. So yeah, that's
So would you say a good place to start, that's for someone that has zero opportunities, a good place to start would be what's available, and then from there you monitor your interest and then grow.
well for somebody who is just starting again, know your context.
True.
So I'm careful not to give
A
general advice
holistic,
because
yeah.
a first class graduate that is the breadwinner of his family, there's a first
Mm.
class graduate who has a trust fund.
Mm-hmm.
Very different from a 2-1 or a 2-2 self who
Mm-hmm.
he didn't do well in school, and so there's a lot that he has to make up for, right? Again,
Mm-hmm.
it's very difficult to just give a blanket sort of advice. So
Yeah.
just understand your context,
Yeah.
and then from there you can then tailor it as you go along.
Okay, thank you very much for those insights. Now, for someone now who is also just starting out, yeah, we mentioned that you need to be in an environment that helps you to grow in your career. How do you differentiate an environment that helps you to grow and an environment that is toxic? Growth always
Yes.
comes with challenges. Yeah, you will need challenges to grow.
Hmm.
But then there are some kind of challenges
Hmm.
that may likely be toxic. So how would you differentiate, especially early on in your career?
I sort of had advisors before I picked up my role where I started out, right?
Mm,
So ask questions. I think that's the first thing you want to do, right? A place where you would learn is a place where you will know the difference when you ask questions, right? I think
mm,
it's really, really important to just do a bit of research. You can't find everything on the internet. And so
yeah,
you want to talk to people, you want to talk to, um, you know, just ask questions. You want to get as much counsel as possible, to a reasonable extent, right? So on one hand, don't outsource your life decisions to somebody else to say, oh, go and work in this company, don't work in that company. Because if everything goes left, you really cannot hold them, no matter what
yeah,
you think. But then at the same time, in the multitude of counsel, there is safety, right?
yeah,
So just ask questions and ultimately acknowledge the value that those answers brought to you, and then make your final decision knowing you came from a more informed position and not just
yeah.
guesswork.
Very
So
true.
yes, I think that's specifically what I'll say to that.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So ask questions to know more about what that kind of workplace would look like practically
Definitely,
before you
definitely.
step in.
Yep, yep, yep.
Thanks. Okay, now to go in the direction of love and marriage, right?
Okay.
At what
Hmm.
stage in your career would you think is ideal to start dating seriously or considering marriage?
Ah,
Because we
dating
can't,
seriously.
yeah, we can't argue the fact that we know that it's important for you to at least have something going on for yourself as a young
Mhm,
person, right?
mhm,
Before considering marriage.
mhm,
Yeah. So at what point in your
mhm.
career would you say, when you're just starting out, or like at what point would you say it's ideal that you can start considering marriage?
Well, so for starters, I mean, you said dating seriously.
Yeah.
Is there another way to date? Is there a reason why you're dating if you're not serious? Right? And
Yeah.
this would be from the perspective of both the man and the woman. Like
Mm.
you, if they're not serious with you, why are you there? And you,
Mm-hmm.
if you're not serious with the person, why are you there? Right? So, I mean, for me, it's a waste of time, right? To be honest, I don't know what being in a relationship, what it offers if you're not willing to
Be serious about it.
get married, or yeah, if you're not willing to take it, to take it to the full length, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, you start out thinking, oh yes, I think this is somebody that we can do life together eventually, and it doesn't work out. So that's very different. I'm not saying once you
Yeah.
date, you must marry the person, right? But casual dating is just a bit of um it's a bit weird to me. And this is personal, so I don't think there's no value to it, right? There's no
Yeah.
value to it. Maybe I may be wrong. I could be convinced, but I don't think there's value to it because number one, um, there's the potential to distract, and I'm saying
Yeah.
distract. What is in school again? But there's still the distraction of your goals of
Mm-hmm.
what you're looking out to do, right? So early on in your career, if you are not really willing to or ready to get married, I think you can pass off on dating. Now, that doesn't mean shut out your social life,
Mm.
right? I'm just saying to you, um, unless you're actually considering this person as a lifetime partner, I don't think you should get into a dating relationship, right? Because then, so my point being, don't shut out your social life because um I mean you now get to the stage that already you now want to start
Mm.
doing the work of getting to know people,
No,
keeping
yeah.
friends. So that's going to be extra work. Just as you are doing your Monday to Friday, just hi, be cordial, know people, be friendly, right? Because I think um it's amongst the people that I may be wrong, and I don't think I have any evidence for it, but it is hardly anybody from way outside your circle that you end up with. It's
Of
usually
course.
somebody that
Within your
is in the
circle.
neighborhood, right? Somebody around. So again, just keep it friendly, keep it you know, have that warmness or cordiality. And then when you feel as if you are ready, you can then go into relationship. And then maybe specifics on when you are ready or when you think you're ready. Definitely you have to be to a certain level financially ready, right?
Does this apply to both male
Again,
and female, or you're speaking mostly to the male?
of course, to both people, both genders, actually, both
Okay.
genders. Um, I think in more recent times, we would have said, oh, the woman is getting old and then she probably wants to get into a relationship. But I think even also for the men, they are getting old,
As
right?
well, yeah.
Settle down, right? Settle down. And again, it now from a place of, is that what you want? So it's a
Mm,
thing of, do you want to do it?
mm-hmm.
And do you want, or is it just because you're under pressure to do it, right? Again, understand your why. I think
Yeah.
once you have that understanding, like I said, a lot of decisions have already been made automatically, right? So why do you want to do what you are doing? Do you genuinely want to get married, or it's just the people said I should get married, though, right? Um, so because yeah, so I say that because I think it really impacts how you go into it. So if you don't want to get married and you are just doing it just to fulfill righteousness or to um ch check a box, right? You will get to the point where it then seems to your partner as though you are doing them a favor,
Mm,
right?
mm.
And so it reduces your, I think it tends to reduce your commitment level, right?
Yeah.
So think of it as you were doing very well on your own,
Mm.
and then somebody now says, I'm going to give you $1 million, for example, right? Just random, just giving you money
I
on
just
your
dash
own.
you. Yeah.
I just dash you that money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You will take the money and say, okay, thanks. And then, okay, with that money, what do I do? Okay, I want to travel around the world. I want to do this. I want to do that. And then it will be weird when the person comes back to you to say, why did you do that with the money that I gave you?
Mm.
Ah, I didn't ask you for it. You're the one who gave me. So you sort of like, but if it's something that you were deliberate about, you worked a bit harder
Yeah.
towards it, right? I think you will guard it more jealously. You will do
You'll
a
be more
lot more to
intentional with it. Yeah.
keep it. Yes, exactly. More intentional and do everything you can to make it work, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so that's deliberate and in that deliberateness and intentionality in going into a relationship and hopefully eventually marriage
Mm.
has a huge, huge, huge factor in it, right? So just know what it is that you want. And when you say you want to get married, financially, you have to be ready to a certain extent. I know a lot of people put a number to it. I don't think there should be a number, right?
Okay.
Um, Number one, number two, I think you can do great things as two people,
Mm.
right? I don't think there's only so much you can do as one person. And maybe finally, not everything will align, right?
Mm.
Not everything will align. You always want to remember that if you are waiting for the perfect time, number one, it may never come.
Mm.
And even when you think that it has come, you have either changed goalposts or something that you were waiting for the perfect time with has left you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
again, just once you have some basics, some foundational things set up, I think you can just go ahead with getting married. Again,
Married
if
and
it's something
settling down.
you do and you're very intentional about it. Yes, that's
Yeah.
it.
Mm. That's big. Thank you so much. And then you
Yes.
mentioned alignment when things align. Yeah, but now let's bring it to the partners themselves, right? Do you
Okay.
think your career path and your partner's career path should align? Like they should align closely for the relationship to thrive? You think it's necessary?
Uh, I'm not sure. I don't think so. I think you want to just prioritize each other,
Mm,
right? Prioritize each other. Again, everybody will have their deal breakers, right? Without a
Mm-hmm.
doubt. Oh, I can never marry somebody, a pilot, because he's always traveling up and down. I can never
Mm,
marry a doctor because his time is not for him. He's always looking for patients. Blah, blah. So, but at the end of the day, it's always a thing of understanding between the couple, right?
yeah.
Again, as the saying goes, it takes two to tango, right? It
Mm-hmm.
takes two to actually make it work. So, um, if you personally you feel like, oh, this is a deal breaker, these are my deal breakers,
Mm,
all well and good is up to you, right? But I don't think it is a, oh, this is that. No. Well, number one. Number two, people change. Life happens,
yeah.
right? What
Yeah.
then happens when, oh, okay, the person maybe didn't start out as what you thought or what you had agreed. Or you
Mm,
say, okay, two of us want to be bankers. Okay, two of us are bankers. And then down the line, somebody gets a job in out of state or out of country. What then
mm,
happens then? Do you divorce them? Or, again, you don't want to narrow things down too much because honestly, things could change. Even the person that travels far and wide, he could easily change and say, oh, I think I'll just maybe willing to do more local. Or,
mm-hmm.
oh, if your own job changes and then now you're probably able to fly a bit more with the person, I don't know, whatever. Things change, things are not as cast in stone,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, but once you find somebody who prioritizes you and somebody who genuinely loves and cares for you, then I think a lot of the things are just, gone. And it's not to downplay on the other things because they are important, but you just want to check, okay, what is my fear or what is my concern with marrying a doctor, with marrying a pilot, with marrying
Yeah.
whoever is in a particular profession, right? So once you identify the underlying maybe fear or maybe insecurity, whichever way you want to put it, right? You can then begin to tackle it. Or maybe you just say, okay, every pilot that I know, or my father was a doctor and he never had time for us because they're always calling for emergency, or
Mm.
my father was a pastor and the church was his life and not us. So if it's something you identify, you guys can then work on it as a couple. Then I think it will take you and your partner places.
So necessarily the career paths don't really have to align as long as you support each other,
No,
help
what
each
does
other
align mean?
grow.
What does align mean? Does that
So
mean
you know how,
teacher, doctor, and
yeah,
lawyer, engineer, and
those kind of, you know how
no?
some people can say, oh,
Oh,
I'm in tech. I also want my partner to be in tech so that we can be
why?
together. We can be
So you
thinking
can do what?
alike.
That's
No.
even a problem. It's even a problem when everybody's thinking alike, actually.
Mm,
It's actually a problem where I think, right? So when they tell you that there should be diversity, that is actually why. Because a tech person would always see everything as, you know, okay, a carpenter would think the solution to every problem is a hammer.
mm,
A tech person would think, let's just write
right,
a
coach.
few lines of code, we'll solve it. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Right? But when there's diversity. A tech person just says, let's get to the solution. This is my if block. If this happens, enter here, thinking in algorithms.
Mm.
But if you had married a nurse, right, or a psychologist, or if you are a partner to a psychologist, someone that
Bring a
has a
whole
bit more
different
humanity,
perspective.
you are
Mm.
working with human beings. I mean,
Yeah.
please. Not all of us want to be. We work with AI. We now come back home and be talking algorithm again. Please, dear. It's not necessary.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. I don't think that's a major thing.
Okay. Okay. So, back to career for a bit. Yeah. Do you think it's better to apply for many jobs when you're applying or to just focus on a few well-targeted applications and why?
Ah, okay.
So, in terms of
So
being
because your
purposeful,
question,
okay.
no, your question is very, very targeted, right? And my answer is cast your net wide. Cast your
Mm.
net, go through the process. Go through the process, right? It can get draining. It can get draining because like, homo, I went suit again. No. I went suit and tie because we have interview,
Interviews.
right? But um, go through the process, especially because I mean, again, from a biblical standpoint, cast your
Mm,
bread upon many waters, right? And after many days, you shall, I think I forget the full scripture, right? But then just think wide, go wide,
mm,
go wide. One, you can then get a bit of direction when you are getting, um, when you're making your final choice, right?
yeah.
But I mean, if you have only two options, you have only two options. But if you have five, six
Several
options, it's a
options.
better
Yeah.
problem to have, right?
Yeah.
It's a better problem. It's a better problem to have, and so you can then begin to take them out. Now, I would say, I mean, targeted. Okay, if everybody does targeted, there's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
There's actually a problem because all of you are targeting the same thing, and then unless you are 1% of the 1%,
Mm,
of your of in that career, you are putting yourself under a lot of pressure. You may not necessarily be in the best learning environment in the biggest of firms, right? What you need,
yeah.
maybe the smaller the firm, the more the more hats you can wear, the greater your ability of
Opportunity.
moving across departments to just to
Mm,
learn, to know what's happening here, what's happening there. We put you somewhere, you specialize too early, right? There's a
mm,
chance of you specializing too early, and then you will find out that almost 2 years, 3 years later, this is the only thing I know how to do,
mm,
and I'm tired of it. I don't like it. I want
mm,
to move to something that is tough.
mm.
It's tough to do. So, um, yeah, just consider that. Again, so many things. There are so many factors, so many variables, and you have to look at them as a whole.
The
But
whole
I would say apply to several companies. Of course, not any, Kelechi and
anyhow company.
Sons, anyhow company, right? But at the same time, don't don't discard. And funny enough, even some startups, right? It's a bit of here and there. I know them, they have a bad reputation, but understand again, it always goes back to your context. Understand your why, understand your context, right? If you're a
Mm,
child of privilege, right after NYC, you have 2, 3 years before your parents are looking at you, say, Yoga, we sent you to school. What's going on here? Why are you still in our house? Right?
mm-hmm.
And so within that 2 to 3 years, you have the chance to take some risks. Oh, you go and join a startup. What are they doing? Ah, we're building AI, but for whatever. We are building Uber, but for this, that. You go there. Ah, so this Uber for hairdresser does not really make sense.
It
So
doesn't align with me. Yeah.
the no, even whether it aligns or not, the company don't die. We don't care
Mm.
about your alignment. The company gone, you have the chance,
Yeah.
right? There's still that privilege. So for that 1.5 years that you put in,
Mm.
you didn't have to worry about food. You didn't have to worry about salary. You were working without earning a salary, right? So that's your context. Not everybody has it. Not
Yeah.
everybody has it. The person that is sending his own siblings to school, he cannot say, ah, job,
Not
give
to
me
work
job.
without pay. Mm.
Do you understand? So just understand your context, and those things will greatly impact. But generally, I would say apply to several places, and then yeah, I mean, applying to several places, just applying. It's just knocking on several doors. Nobody has told you
Yeah.
yes. Get as many, oh yes, we like you, offer letter. Then you can then whittle down from there.
Mm. Nice. So don't box yourself, basically. Apply to several and create more
Yes, please.
opportunities for yourself. Yeah.
I would say that, yes.
Still on the aspect of dating and career. Yeah. There's this
Hmm?
mindset that dating can be distracting. Yeah, it can be distracting for your career, for your growth, for your goals. Can be quite distracting. So for those who are just starting out, how can they build credibility, especially when they're inexperienced? How can they build credibility and earn respect early on in their career without it affecting their relationship or without having their relationship affect their career?
Um, be good at your job. That's the only way I can say build credibility. Be good at your job, right? And even when you're not good at your job, let the efforts show that you're
Mm,
trying. All right, let it show. So, um, again, maybe because the context is people that are starting out, right? Nobody expects you to know a lot or know too much.
Mm,
right? But more often than not, what is most important to maybe your senior colleagues is, and I just say this, broadly, nobody wants to pour water into a basket, right?
yeah.
One thing I have come to know is that and people love to pour themselves into other people, right? They want to be able to influence, guide, and lead people.
Yeah.
But another thing that people don't like, on the other hand, is that they don't like wasted effort, right? So let it be worth your team lead, your senior colleagues,
Mm,
let it be worth their time and it will show. And it will
mm.
show, right? So know your work, do your work, and when you genuinely don't know it, ask
Ask
questions and then put
questions.
in the efforts to learn. Put in the efforts to learn. Either by asking that same colleague or asking others, just let it show. We will know when somebody is trying and we'll know when I
Mm,
beg, I beg, I beg. We will know. It's clear,
yeah.
right? It's clear. And so that is really what will make you stand out, what will make a name for you, right? You'll be popular for, oh, I know that guy, he's he will put in his effort. Or if I
Mm,
know him, he will deliver,
yeah.
right? So that is what people are looking out for. The
Mm,
people that are popular, the people that are reliable, they have shown themselves reliable over the years. And it's not that on day one they will ask you build a core banking application. No, it will
mm,
start from the smaller things.
yeah.
It will start from the smaller things, right? He who is faithful in little, even more will be given unto him,
Mm,
right? So, are you faithful in the little? Are you doing your tiniest tasks well? Now, in your early career, it will probably take a bit of time and you would then have to spend extra hours, but
yeah.
it's what it is, right? I would imagine that your partner has that understanding as well. And so they are a bit more graceful. They give you a bit more grace when, oh, you haven't spoken to me most of the day. And generally, I think there are ways you can balance it. There are
Mm,
ways you can balance it, right? So if you think it will actually distract you and it seems like your partner may not really understand it that well,
mm,
or they are not very forthcoming in that regard,
mm,
right? You then want to then re-evaluate, right? To say, okay, what this person is asking for, how reasonable is it? Am I the one thinking it differently? Again, counselors. Not saying go and tell the whole world about your problems, but at the same time, have people that can advise you and you genuinely listen, right? So that you just know how to handle scenario. Just be competent at your job. Be competent. I think that's the most important thing. And because competence is not it's not something you get overnight.
yeah.
It's with practice and with learning.
It's effort. Yeah.
Be open to learning as well, and actually seek knowledge. Go out and look for how to do better at your role. So yeah, that's what I'll recommend.
So basically, at the start of your career, nobody's expecting you to deliver. They just want to see your efforts, see you putting in the
Nobody.
efforts.
Nope,
Yeah.
nope, nope. Nobody's expecting you to deliver. And if they are, then you can then say, okay, this expectation is not realistic. And it's what it is. I think you have maybe 6 to 9 month window, depending on the
Mm,
organization,
yeah.
right? In a larger organization, maybe you have that long, but maybe in a smaller one, you may have maybe 3, 4 months to, quickly catch
Catch
on,
up.
right? I
Yeah.
think you actually can. Again, just are you better than yesterday? You don't want to be seen as this is how you were in January. We are here in
Mm,
March again, still at this level.
mm,
Progress, progress, right? So that's just one thing. And maybe if anything, that's what I'll say you should have at the back of your mind. How are you progressing? Yesterday, today, has there been a positive change?
mm.
And that's just it.
With a reasonable partner as well, they should be understanding about the demands
Yes.
of early careers.
Reasonable, not to sound like your partner is unreasonable.
Yeah.
You know, check the partner is reasonable. It's just the expectation that you then
Yes.
want to check, right? So,
Mm.
is is this normal? And then you
Mm.
talk to older people. You talk to older people who have gone that way before to say, sorry, this, and that. Am I the one overthinking it? Is it practical? And then let them guide you say, okay, prioritize that woman. Or, your career is quite important at this time. Whatever advice they will give you, I can only
Or
imagine that it is.
to be useful, or find a way to balance both. There would always be a
There's
way.
also that because you say, okay, only you want to do MC, you want to do 9 to 5, you want to have career too, and you want to be making money from everything. Something has to give.
Yeah.
There's always an opportunity cost. So those are the conversations
Mm.
you would always want to have.
Mm. There's always
So
something to
yes.
sacrifice.
Yep, yep,
Interesting.
yep, yep.
Interesting. But you personally, have you ever had to sacrifice a relationship for your career or vice versa?
No, no, I haven't. No, I
Oh,
haven't.
nice.
I mean, again, I don't know any dating that is not serious. And so when I um started dating my wife. So I started out as Stanbic, um single. I was not in a relationship then,
Mm.
please. I was not in a relationship then, and I wasn't for maybe 2.5 years thereabout.
Okay.
Relationship, and then it progressed onto marriage, right? So nothing has had to suffer per se. I mean,
Nice.
talking stage, that won't matter. Maybe talking stage one or two, but I don't know. Does that count? I don't think it counts. No, I mean, you know,
Oh
it's,
my God. Not
yeah,
necessarily.
that's, so that's that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So looking back now, what do you wish you had known earlier about balancing love, marriage, and career?
Maybe not specific to love and career, but again, you and your partner have to be on the same page. It's too important. It's too important, right? So, um, it is foundational to whatever you two are doing. So that has to happen. But maybe what do I wish I had known? Honestly, nothing much in that regard, especially relationship and a career.
Career
I
wise.
wouldn't say that there's anything that I would have, you know, no, I think thus far. And so maybe I'm not the best to give this advice, right? Because mine was went to a
It was smooth.
relationship and I got married after, yeah, pretty smooth. So no, nothing much in that regard.
What's one principle or some key principles that have helped you stay grounded? Because you're a dad now, you're a father, you're a
Mhm,
husband, and still you are a team
mhm,
lead, leading people in
mhm.
the workspace. So what are some principles or maybe one principle that has helped you stay grounded in pursuing both, in handling your marriage and your career?
Um, First of all, you want to acknowledge that it is possible, right?
Mm,
Or starting point is very, very important,
mm,
right? Your opening, your premise, your your premise on whatever it is very foundational to what it is that you're doing, right? So you want to acknowledge that it is possible, right? And
yeah.
it's now just a thing of how do we do it?
Mm,
Because I'm not the first person I'm not the first now. I'm not the first to
yeah.
have a child. I'm not the first
Yeah.
to have a wife. I'm not the first to have a job where, I supervise people. So how are they doing it, right? Both by observation and asking questions, right? And always acknowledge, and you will need help. So acknowledge the help, right? I am not oblivious to the fact that mine has been a bit smoother than maybe how others will have it, right? So I need a couple of other people in
Your
my
circle.
context, dad, yeah, in my circle and have similar context. And it may not be as smooth or as rosy. So I don't doubt that, right? And so it's one of the blessings that I count for
Mm,
myself, right? But I think just know that it is possible. First thing, it is possible and believe it like mad that You will be a great dad. You will be a fantastic husband, and you will do well at your job,
mm,
right? Those things that it is possible to do, and so therefore you will do it, right? And then secondly, just realize that it involves work. While it is
mm,
possible,
yeah.
also involves work. And so what the work will say is, um, oh yeah, it's time to change diapers, or it's time to wake up. Baby is awake. You need to make time for PTA and whatever,
Mm,
right? It is work. You are tired. You want to not to do that, right? But you still have to, right? Because it is necessary,
mm,
right? So while it is possible, it also takes a bit of hard work. Believe that it is possible. And number two, also acknowledge that there is work that is involved in making it happen,
mm,
right? And then maybe the third thing is communication and feedback,
mm,
right? And to that, I would say, um, ask questions. Oh, okay. Am I doing well here? Where do you think I should do better? Of course, your child cannot speak, but
your
your partner
partner
will tell
can.
you, oh, Haba, we've not gone out on a date for a while. We've not done ABC. We've not done one, two, three.
Mm,
You're not spending as much time with your daughter. Oh. And it's not that they are complaining or nagging. It's just them to anchor you or to recenter you to say, okay, oh, yes, we know your career is there, but also
these things are
remember
also
it's
important.
important,
Mm.
right? So just that communication and feedback. So ask questions and be open to receiving feedback. There's a way that somebody will give you feedback and you will respond and they'll say, okay, now me mess up. I won't talk next time. Right?
Yeah.
So in as much as you want to be defensive, also hear and understand beyond what is being said, but what is behind or what is influencing that
Mm,
um feedback that they are being given, right?
yeah.
So that you're giving rather. So yes, I think those are key things that I will probably say are really, really, really that I will hold on to.
Feedback from your colleagues or your leaders in the office as well would also help
Oh yeah,
to keep
definitely.
you grounded.
Definitely. I mean, so that one is if they don't give me feedback or if I don't even ask for feedback, I'm in trouble because by the time they say thank you very much, it's been nice. So it goes without saying. Of course, it goes without saying that
Yeah.
you must always have that feedback. And whether I like it or not, they will give you feedback. So it's not even a thing of you take, right? So it's just the other more subtle ones because
Mm,
at home, you may not know it as feedback.
yeah.
You may just, oh, okay, we are doing our thing, right? But you actually discuss and say, oh, ABC 1, 2, 3, I would love if this was done in a different way.
Mm.
So yes, that's what I would say.
Ooh, thank you so much. This has been a lot of unpacking and a lot of
Okay.
wisdom sharing
You say
on
so.
love and career. Yeah, thank you. So at least now we know it's possible. That means young people, we really have nothing to fear. Like you said, the relationship is purposeful. We know what we are going, planning towards. I'm not just dating here and there to waste time. You are focused. You know that, okay, this is someone I want to marry. And then you're putting in the effort. So I understand now that it requires effort both in your workplace, both for the relationship.
Hmm.
So you will need to put in the effort for both. There will be some sacrifices here and there that
There
will need
has
to be made.
there has to be.
Yeah.
There has to be. And again, a lot can change in
Mm,
so short a time.
yeah.
Don't be too fixated on oh, this is
Now.
not working or this is that.
Mm,
What really is it? One promotion here, two promotion here, your money has almost doubled,
mm,
right?
mhm,
Income has madly changed, and so all the things you were fighting about, they look infinitesimal, right?
mhm.
So, I mean, I'm not to downplay expressing yourself in a relationship or wherever you are, but just try to have a long-term view and don't be too fixated on the
Now.
immediate now. Like, he's not prioritizing me, he's not calling me. Okay, why is he not calling you?
Mm,
Because he's in busy season, right? Or he's this time in the office is really the most important time. Appraisal is close, or they are
yeah.
trying to meet deadlines, right? Okay, there is that, right? So that has to happen. On the other hand, even you, I mean, such seasons don't come unawares. You already have a sense. So maybe you want to communicate ahead, prepare your partner. Again, once you people know each other,
Hmm.
life is smooth. Life is beautiful. Of many things, I think that is a lot I have mentioned already.
Yeah. Thank you so very much. It is possible. It is possible.
Yeah,
And it doesn't affect our career growth as well. It doesn't affect our career
no, it
growth.
doesn't.
You can
It
grow
doesn't.
alongside with your partner in your careers.
Yes, I even think that's the best way to grow, in my opinion.
Mm.
It's probably the best. Two of you were at a certain stage and you guys came together. I know people prefer, I don't know if the word is ready-made, but everything is soft
Yeah.
but I don't know. I mean, different opinions, but I mean, they say, okay, there's no price for suffering. Well, I agree, right? But then you just ask yourself, why would this person choose me?
Mm.
Like, I just a whole other conversation, a whole other conversation. So
Oh,
we
thank you
can,
so
if maybe
much.
another time or whenever, we'll just
Sure,
catch up. That's it.
sure, sure.
That's it. Thank you so much for having
Thank you
me. Thank
so
you.
much. Thank you. It was lovely having you. Lovely learning from you as well. And like you said, we would have you again to unpack the
Ah,
others.
okay. Oh, I'm the one that said. Okay.
Yes.
Not a problem. Not
All
a
right.
problem.
Thank you. Thank you
And
so much for watching today's episode. I'm sure you enjoyed it as much as I did. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.